starting for real on August 25th. Coach, you want to just give us a preview of the season?
Yeah, loving the group. They're working hard. You know, classes started yesterday, so there's always additional distractions at that point. Still several positions up for grabs, so, you know, Saturday will help us, I think, with some of those things to make final decisions on a lineup going into the Purdue weekend. But, you know, we're excited. We think we've got a ton of potential, and now just hopefully we can stay healthy and get better each day.
Questions?
Are you expecting that back row to be fluid, especially early, just considering, you know, the experience level you're replacing and how much talent and experience you have?
You talking just the libero spot or the back row in general?
Yeah, just DS's, libero, like how many people you, I guess, trust to make plays in those spots when you put them in?
I hope it's not fluid. I mean, that's not, I don't like players to play in fear. So, you know, we hope someone will emerge. But I think the flip side of that is that they, you know, we have to have someone consistently earning it, both in practice and in game. So I think those are unknowns. Not, I would say more the libero position, but, you know, so we'll see.
Do you expect UNC to be fluid because you want to make sure you're getting a full evaluation of what it could potentially be in those spots?
We still are kind of evaluating what we're going to do on that.
Bringing Ellie Bickelmeyer, how has she kind of settled into this group and kind of had success the last couple of years bringing in back transfer? Could she be that for you this year?
Ellie's been a great addition, great kid. Her dad was a star baseball player here, which is pretty good, cool, and her mom played, or didn't play sport, but was a student here. Ellie is this unassuming kid that has every shot in her pocket and just gets things done. I think, you know, we're still working on her tempo. Someone like that, you know, it's more of our setters need to adjust to her. Sometimes if someone's young, they're adjusting to the tempo we're running. But I think a kid like that, you want to find out what she's best at and then get the ball. So we're still working on some things. But she'll definitely be someone fighting for that spot.
How do you feel about the setter depth this year compared to, I mean, last year you had depth, but if you move Jazz, you can take a hitter away from
Right.
your arsenal. Like, given the fact that you have 3 true ones that have
4 true ones.
Yeah, 4 true ones. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. How do you feel about that position this year with more depth and more how it's progressing?
Well, yeah, the big difference last year was trying to find times. You know, I think anytime a kid is multifaceted like Jasmine was, you know, she did setter training, but in practice she was primarily a hitter. These 4 are almost exclusively all setters. You know, we'll throw Emma and Katie sometimes into some DS roles, but you know they are training consistently setting. So I think that bodes well for all of their development throughout the year. And you know there's a lot of fighting going on there. You know, so yeah, so I think that's a good sign. You know, I think that makes our scout side better. That you know they can, you know, a lot of different people can run, set a good ball, and you know keep both sides competitive.
What's that next step for Ava? Obviously, she played a lot as a true freshman, had made her mark on a couple matches especially, but what's kind of the next step for her this year?
I think Ava Martin, I had to figure out which Ava. We've got all these duplicate names this year. Ava, I think she would say her next step is to get to play 6 rotations. So that's what she's been working a lot on, her serve, receive, her defense. And then, you know, the advantage that the hitters have over a DS is that they can bring offense. So, you know, that's what we always say, your offense has to bring enough, and then you've got to make sure that you're good enough to compete with those DSs. So, you know, that's a goal I know of hers, and you know, I think she'll get that opportunity to fight for that spot. But we also have some really good defensive players that will, you know, duke it out for that spot also.
When it comes to preseason honors teams, I think as a coach, how do you or what do you teach them about that balance of appreciating it, yet putting it aside?
I honestly don't get wrapped up in any of that. I think it really means nothing. The poll, for example, is a lot of based on where you finished last year. So is it good? It's great for name recognition for our program. We're definitely happy to be in there. But as you know, all that stuff, it's about how you finish. So I think it's good promotion for our program. It's always good to be on the national stage, but we don't spend too much time talking about any of that stuff.
Do you like the mix you have between, obviously, 5 freshmen, but also a heavy chunk of upperclassmen, and how that has kind of meshed so far?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of newcomers, 5 freshmen, as you said, but they've really mixed in really well. And we do have a lot of returners on the court. So I think it's kind of a perfect mix of bringing some new people in, learning our system, but having veterans, not only in the practice gym, but from on the court that they've played in a lot of big matches to kind of even those things out. So I really do like the dynamic. And I think the culture of our program is such of, our upperclassmen do a great job of welcoming the freshmen, make them feel a part of it. Like, our culture is not treat them poorly, so they've done a nice job of, making it feel like a team really quickly. And obviously getting to go to Europe helped with that and just build a lot of good relationships.
How have you seen, I think you're really impressed with the depth you have this year. How have you seen that manifest in terms of its competitiveness in the gym, especially when you go 6 on 6? And, you obviously told them that everything's up for grabs, but how have you seen that in their mentality?
Well, we have had good practices, and I think you're right that positions are a lot closer this year. So if someone gets to start and go, they might have someone right on their tail, so they got to be ready to continue to hold that spot. But I just think the energy's been good. I think they always work hard. So, but yeah, I just think we're good everywhere. Now our assistant coach Adam, he's playing a lot in the gym and he's really good, and I think that's been really. I think at first the players were like, "Well, this isn't even realistic," but now it's like, "Okay, bring it on." So I think they're prepared for some of the tempo that we're going to hit in the next couple weeks, because we're going to play some players. I mean, I finally said that to him a couple days in of like, if you think Adam's good, wait till we play some of these players because they're going to hit like this. So start getting used to digging it now so that you're ready for it when we hit it in a week or two.
I know Nora's more of a kind of soft-spoken, let her game, do the talking type of person, but now that she's a junior and upperclassman, do you kind of expect her to be maybe one vocal leader in that locker room?
I don't know. I don't know if that'll be Nora, what she does. I think Nora really prides herself on leading by example. She's not a quiet kid, but she's not going to be the one. I don't know if I have anyone that's going to get in someone's face. I think she's going to lead by example and be positive and try to get the best. But the thing with Nora that I think some people miss is she's fiercely competitive. She wants to win really, really badly. But it manifests itself a lot of times in a positive, happy young woman. I always get frustrated when people assume if you're competitive, you're nasty. No, Nora is highly, highly competitive. She just happens to be a really kind person packaged in that.
Kirsten, I know you mentioned some of the older players welcoming the newcomers, and Keely and Jayla were a big part of that in years past. Who have you maybe seen step into those roles now?
Well, I think, it kind of, age makes a difference in that. So Kiana Schmidt definitely has stepped into that. And, Kiana is a quiet young woman, but has really worked on asserting her voice, but is highly organized, so can help, make sure that everyone knows where they're supposed to go. Ellie Bolton's, a 4th year this year, and she's really loud. So you've got that dynamic between the two of them, which I think is really good. Katie Mazer, Kiara Reinhardt. So that group right there is probably taking the biggest lead. But we always talk about everyone can be a leader in a different way. But I would say a lot of our juniors and seniors have kind of stepped into that role, and they've been preparing for it. And they take things that that from their career and say, I really liked how people led this way, or maybe I want to do it this way. And so they kind of take that together and figure out how they want to lead.
I know Destiny was one of those local kids, had her flipper commitment. What kind of drew you to her when she was in high school, and what have you kind of seen so far from her that's kind of affirmed that interest that you had in her?
Yeah. I had the luxury that Destiny was on the same team with my daughter. So even during a quiet period, I got to watch Destiny a lot. And so, I could see her take over matches and do some things. So then So when she decided to decommit, and she didn't tell people she had decommitted, she just told like 5 or 6 schools. So she narrowed, and we were in that pod of schools that she wanted to look at. And I think Destiny has just such a huge upside. She's a little erratic right now, and that's where she's got to get better. But Destiny can take over matches. She's got a huge arm. She elevates. She's got the whole game. I mean, she can hit front row, back row. She can pass. She can play defense. So I think she's got a huge upside. And it's exciting to kind of see when she is hitting at all cogs. She's pretty impressive.
Anything else?
Have any of the newcomers surprised you at all?
Well, I got to see him in May, so I would say this. All of them have hit or exceeded expectations. So that's been good. You hope that kids don't arrive and you're like, dang. So they've all been great, and I think a lot of them have some big upsides, and they'll challenge for a lot of positions.
What was your favorite part of Italy?
I love the history of Rome, but almost no one else is giving that answer. It's just, Rome was so crowded, but I just, trying to imagine what had gone on in the Colosseum so long ago, that stuff's pretty cool to me. But the players all said the Mediterranean, like Cinque Terre, was all their favorites, but it was all pretty awesome. And we nailed it. It's like 100 degrees there right now. We had perfect weather the entire time, upper 70s. I mean, we got really fortunate.
Sounds nice.
It was nice.